Alright, what's up fellas? So today, we're going to be talking about 25 game franchises that were once great, but have gone to complete shit. Yes, 25. So I'm not going to ramble on about each franchise too long, otherwise this video will be like fucking 2.5 hours long. So I'm going to keep each segment short and sweet, and just give a brief explanation as to why they're not the games they used to be. This list is in no particular order. It's not from worst to best or anything. It's just in a random order. So, yeah, let's get started, shall we? Number 1 is Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem 3D is by far one of the best first-person shooters of all time. I can't really comment on the previous Duke Nukem games, you know, the side-scroller ones, because I've never actually played them before, but I'm sure they were pretty awesome. I can, however, comment on the fucking absolute mess that was Duke Nukem 3D. The latest entry in the series, and the entry that destroyed the franchise forever. The game was an absolute mess. It was fucking horrible. It had a 2-weapon limit, like it was some sort of generic-ass Call of Duty. The level design was fucking awful. The dialogue was cheesy. And the game was just overall a disaster. You got all the weapons in like the first couple of levels. The fucking gameplay was slow paced. It was fucking generic feeling. And it was just a fucking awful game. Number 2 is Silent Hill. Now admittedly, I've not played many Silent Hill games. The only ones that I've played are 2, 3 and Homecoming. 2 and 3, some of the best horror games of all time. Homecoming though, is just boring. There's not really much I can say about it. It's not particularly a bad game. It's just fucking boring. Especially when you compare it to the standards of the previous Silent Hill games. Silent Hill has always been known for its creepiness, its amazing soundtrack, the psychological horror. But Homecoming is just boring. It's bland, it's lifeless, soulless. It's just a generic feeling survival horror game. Silent Hill 1 was also a great game. Never played it, but that part in the hospital with the kids walking around is creepy shit. It stood out, it's memorable. Silent Hill 4 also looks pretty good. It doesn't look as good as the other ones, but it looks alright, you know? Especially when you compare it to Silent Hill Homecoming and Silent Hill Downpour, which are just fucking, like I said, boring, generic, shitty fucking survival horror games. Number 3 is Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is not a bad series, so you're probably thinking, well, why is it on this list then? Well, I'm talking more about GTA Online. GTA 4 and GTA 5 are definitely a step down in terms of quality compared to GTA San Andreas, you know. GTA San Andreas was just such a great game, it's a classic. A lot of innovation, a lot of creativity, a lot of content. It was just a great game. One of the best PS2 games of all time. But since we haven't had a GTA game in almost 10 years, I'm just gonna like consider GTA Online the new era of GTA, so to speak. Because, you know, it's been almost fucking 10 years, right? And what can I say about GTA Online? It's a fucking disgrace, dude. Microtransactions out the fucking ass, toxic fanbase, and just overall, a fucking horrible experience, dude. Terrible loading times, overpowered vehicles, griefers. You can't make enough fucking money to buy a goddamn toothpick. It's just a fucking mess, dude. Fuck that game. Number 4 is Saints Row. Do I even need to explain why this game sucks? I mean, just look at Saints Row Reboot. Look at the amount of shit that game's getting at the moment. That's all I need to say. Saints Row Reboot. That game alone has killed this franchise. But even before then, the game was killed by Saints Row 3 and Saints Row 4. Because those games were the end of Saints Row. Because SR2 was the last good Saints Row game. Saints Row 1 and 2 are the only good Saints Row games, the rest are fucking shit. Saints Row 4 and Saints Row 3 are not particularly bad games, they're just terrible Saints Row games. Number 5 is Dead Space. Dead Space 1 and 2 are some of my favourite games of all time, and in my opinion, are up there with Resident Evil 4. They were just great games, you know, great mechanics, Great fucking gameplay, great weapons, great enemy types. Just a solid game, right? But then you got to see, then you had Dead Space 3, which just came along and fucking ruined that, man. They made it into some sort of Call of Duty / Aliens fucking game. It had way too much action. It had fucking human enemies, which is that's a joke right there. You don't put human enemies in a fucking horror game. You certainly don't put it in my fucking Dead Space game, dude. That was a terrible decision. The crafting system was unnecessary. The universal ammo was unnecessary. The setting was, it wasn't particularly bad, the snowy setting, but it did kind of ruin the horror aspect, the isolation of the previous games. The new enemy types were just boring, They ruined enemies like the lurkers by making them into dogs rather than children because of some fucking, child cruelty or some shit, How dare we kill children in a video game, A bunch of pixels. Yeah, Dead Space 3 is it killed the franchise, Up until Dead Space Remake, which is coming out soon, this game has been fucking dead in the fucking water ever since, and yeah, Dead Space 3 did that. Number 6 is WWE Games. Oh man, these games back in the day were fucking awesome, man. I used to play these games when I was a kid on the PS2 and Xbox 360 constantly. The SmackDown games, the SmackDown vs. Raw games, even the early 2K games were alright. Well, one of them was. I liked every wrestling game up until 2K15. 2K14 had a ton of fucking content. Like, they had a great start with that new era of wrestling game. It had a lot of content. The story mode was awesome with the 30 years to WrestleMania. But then with 2K15, they just fucking destroyed it, dude. I remember playing that fucking game, right? And I fucking hated it because they took out a bunch of the content that I liked from the previous game. It was just a watered down version. So, 2K16 comes around a year later, and I gave it one more chance, and then, yeah, it was the same shit. I didn't fucking like it, so from that point on, I was just like, yeah, fuck this series, dude. And I haven't bought a wrestling game since. Wrestling games used to be arcade and fast-paced and fun, but now they're just a simulation, dude. It's all about realism, with unnecessary fucking annoying stamina systems and, slow animations and just unnecessary fucking realism. Number 7 is Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry has never really been the best series, honestly. Devil May Cry 1 didn't age that well in my opinion. I know people might find that controversial. Devil May Cry 2, I never even played because I've heard about all the fucking terrible shit in that game. And Devil May Cry 3 was definitely the best game of the series. It had a lot of fucking content, a lot of variety, awesome boss fights, cool music, different weapons and the different styles and shit. There was definitely some things in it that I didn't like though. Playing that game on Dante Must Die with the fucking enormous health pools was an absolute nightmare. But after that, the game just went slowly down fucking hill, Even Devil May Cry 4 wasn't that great. It just was a watered down version of Devil May Cry 3. The reboot was actually good. I actually liked that game. I know a lot of people don't, but I think that's the most underrated Devil May Cry game. But then Devil May Cry 5 is just, as I like to say, it's a watered down version of an already watered down version of an already watered down game, which is Devil May Cry 4. In Devil May Cry 4, there was a couple of things that I really liked. I really liked the arm, which Nero had, but then in Devil May Cry 5, they just they just ruined it with the stupid prosthetic arms, dude, where you have to collect fucking, recharges and shit. Dude, get that fucking shit out of here, man. Like I said, dude, Capcom love to fucking ruin their own games. The characters are a bunch of fucking douchebags. Dante is some old Uncle Fester looking fucking creepy motherfucker. That fucking bitch with the redneck accent is fucking annoying. I hate the fucking, I hate the V sections. Those are some of the worst gameplay sections I've ever seen in the history of gaming. Who the fuck thought that those V sections were a good idea. They need to be fucking fired immediately, okay? The worst shit I've ever seen in Devil May Cry by far. Number 8 is Metro, one of the most underrated horror series of all time. Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, solid fucking games. But then you've got Metro Exodus, which I have never played, but, you know, from what I've heard from my good friend King of Hun and what I've seen on YouTube, it is a slow, boring, story-driven piece of shit, dude. Such a shame, man. Such a fucking shame. The first 2 games were great. You know, one of the very few first-person horror games that actually works, you know? People that know me will know that I don't like first-person horror games. Resident Evil 7, Outlast, Layers of Fear are fucking terrible horror games and a perfect example of how not to do horror. First-person perspective just doesn't work for horror games in my opinion. The only first-person horror games that I like are Condemned and Metro. Other than that, I don't like first-person horror, dude. There might be a couple of other games out there that I've never heard of or that I forgot about. But yeah, I can't stand first-person for horror games. The only reason I like it in Metro is because of the immersion that it gives. With the mask and how you wipe it and just the great aesthetics and shit. It works so well in that game because it really pulls you in to the game. If that game was third person, it wouldn't work. It really wouldn't. The first person perspective works so well. Whereas in other fucking games like RE7 for example, it's just terrible. It doesn't fucking work in that game. It's cliche, boring fucking horror. But yeah, you know, Metro Exodus, it's just a slow-paced movie simulator, which I fucking hate. I can't stand these slow-paced fucking games. I know it's a horror game, but that's no fucking excuse. Metro Exodus, Metro 2033, Metro Last Light had great pacing. They weren't too fast, weren't too slow. But then in Metro Exodus, they just went overboard with the slow-paced shit, dude. Number 9 is Dead Rising. Dead Rising 4. That's all I need to say. That game, it ruined the formula. It took out everything that made Dead Rising what it is. It took out the timer. It fucking made it casualized as fuck with no difficulty. It took out the psychopaths. It replaced Frank West's voice actor. It was just terrible. It took out a whole bunch of content that was in, you know, a game that came out 10 years before it. Things like reflections and being able to pick up, you know, like store items like dumbbells and things. They became a part of the background rather than interactable. How the hell do you do that? How do you get outplayed by a 10-year-old fucking game? Oh my god, man. Do you know what? If you want more detail, go watch some videos online, dude. There's a lot of videos on YouTube explaining why Dead Rising 4 is so bad, but yeah, it's horrible, dude. It fucking killed the franchise. I don't know if we'll ever get a fucking another Dead Rising game, but if they have the same developer and they go down the same route of casualizing the fuck out of it and taking out all these elements that make the, you know, the franchise so great, then don't even fucking bother. Number 10 is Need for Speed. Just like WWE Games, I used to play the shit out of Need for Speed as a kid. Hot Pursuit, Underground 1, Underground 2, Most Wanted, Carbon. I loved racing games as a kid. Not really anymore. I haven't played a racing game in fucking years, but back on the PS2, racing games were fucking sick. Nowadays, though, they're fucking terrible, man. Everything's about fucking, you know, more realistic racing. Like, it seems like every game's trying to be Forza with the more sports-based racing rather than street racing. That's what it seems, at least. I might be wrong about that, okay? I haven't kept up to date with Need for Speed in fucking years at this point. I think the last Need for Speed game I played was The Run. And my goodness, dude, what the fuck were they thinking with that game? They take out everything that made Need for Speed so great. The open world, the in-depth customization, the variety of vehicles, you know, the cool storylines. And then they make it into like a linear game with no customization, you know, No fucking cool soundtrack. Nothing. They just water it fucking down. That's what they always do nowadays with games. They take a formula that was once great with tons of, interesting features, and they just remove all of the said interesting features and just water it down. Make it into a simplistic piece of shit. What the fuck, dude? Aren't games supposed to be evolving? Aren't we supposed to be adding more features, more content, more variety, a more open world, a larger world, a more enhanced experience? But instead, we're getting watered down versions of PS2 games. Games that are like 15 years old. That's fucking pathetic. Number 11 is Call of Duty Zombies. Zombies used to be great. Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, great games. Black Ops 3, the best in the series. The game had always been known for its great maps. Well, every now and then there was some shitty maps, but it had great maps, great weapons, great characters, creative perks, interesting fucking Easter eggs and shit. It was constantly evolving. But then we get to Black Ops 4 and, well, what the fuck happened, dude? It was Black Ops 3, but not as good. It was the start of the end, the beginning of the end for this series. It was buggy as fuck on launch. The maps just didn't have the same amount of love as the previous maps. They went more for quantity over quality, rather than, awesome maps which were each unique with a lot of content, unique wonder weapons, great Easter eggs. And we just, half of the maps were fucking remakes. And then we get to Cold War, and what do they do? Do they go back to the roots, the more hardcore fan base, what they wanted? No, they catered to a bunch of casuals, a bunch of fucking battle royale players, and made it simplistic as fuck. Took out everything that made it interesting and made it fucking boring. And then Vanguard, what do I even need to say about Vanguard? That game is a fucking a travesty. Number 12 is Mafia. Now, I can't really remember much about Mafia 1 because it's been so long since I've played it, but from memory, it was pretty fucking good. Mafia 2 was awesome. Awesome story, awesome setting, cool soundtrack, cool characters, just overall a solid fucking game. And then Mafia 3 comes out and what the fuck, man, that game was fucking horrible. That game was so fucking repetitive. No longer did we have interesting missions with interesting characters. Instead, it was just a bunch of free roam activities disguised as campaign missions, as story missions. You just had to take over these districts with fucking the most mind-numbingly repetitive fucking missions. You usually just go into a camp, kill everyone, and kill the leader, whatever the fuck it was. That game was fucking horrible, dude. Seriously, man. I was so disappointed when that game came out because I was really hyped up for that fucking game. I loved Mafia 2, and I couldn't wait for Mafia 3, I remember watching some of the trailers and shit, and man, God, I thought it looked fucking awesome, dude. But, sadly, it turned out to be a waste of time. Number 13 is God of War. I'm not really going to ramble on about this one too much. Everybody knows that I fucking hate God of War nowadays, I was a big fan of it growing up. God of War 2, God of War 3, some of my favourite games of all time right there. The new games, however, I can't stand, dude. They're just not God of War. The camera, they ruined fucking Kratos. They made it into some sort of RPG game. I just don't like that fucking game. I'm not gonna bitch on about it for fucking too long, but yeah. Kratos, they've ruined that fucking character. Kratos used to be one of my favorite characters. He was fucking badass, dude. Great fucking voice. But now he's some old piece of shit, dude, with fucking arthritis and a big old soy beard with his little fucking gay son. And, the gameplay sucks. It's clunky. The camera's too fucking zoomed in. Unnecessary fucking RPG mechanics. It used to be a fun, simplistic fucking hack and slash game. but now it's just not even the same game, dude. The fact that people call this game God of War, and the fact that it's actually called God of War, that the fact that it has the title God of War, that is truly a fucking disgrace. Number 14 is Just Cause. The first two Just Cause games were great. Open world, action-packed fun. But Just Cause 3, it had the same problem as Mafia 3. It was fucking repetitive. You did the same shit over and over again. All you did was go into those bases, destroy some buildings, and kill all the soldiers or whatever. It was just boring. Not enough variety. It was just fucking repetitive. Not really much else to fucking say. It was just, well, repetitive. Number 15 is Red Dead Redemption. The first Red Dead was fantastic. Awesome story, awesome characters, great pacing, a lot of content, solid fucking game. Red Dead 2, oh my god, they just fucked it up big time. You know, rather than making more of Red Dead 1 with more, you know, content and shit, more enhanced version of the first game, whatever, they made it into a slow-paced, realistic story simulator or story-driven game. It was boring. Never played it, and I never will fucking play it, because, like I said, I don't like these slow-paced fucking games. It seems like all you do in that game is ride your fucking horse and walk around your fucking camp. Yeah, walk around your camp, because you can't even run. All it is limitations. That's modern day gaming in a fucking nutshell right there. Restricting your fucking movement and forcing you to play the game at their fucking pace. How about fuck you, dude? Fuck you with your forced restrictions bullshit. The cutscenes go on for fucking 20 minutes. You got all these different gauges and shit, like fucking, you have to clean your weapons. You have to, you know, like cut your fucking beard or whatever. I mean, that's not really a problem. It's actually kind of cool how your beard grows and shit, but the fact that you have to clean your fucking weapons, unnecessary shit like that just makes the game a chore to play, rather than, you know, fun. What happened to games being fun, eh? Now every game has to be a real-life simulator with real-life problems like cleaning your fucking guns. What the hell were they thinking? Number 16 is Max Payne. I love the first two Max Payne games. The third game, though, that is, oh man, you know, it's not the worst game I've ever played in my fucking life. But one thing, well, there's two things that I don't like about Max Payne 3. One is the cover system. Max Payne isn't about taking cover. It's never been about taking cover. It's about diving around and bullet time shit. I know that's still in there, but the fact that there's a fucking cover system in that game is a joke. Also, the unskippable cutscenes. Oh my fucking god, it's horrible, dude. I remember a while ago, I returned to that game to play it again, and the cutscenes were unbearable. They were fucking unbearable, dude. They were so frequent, and they went on so goddamn long. Oh man, what were they thinking with that? See, it's bad enough in fucking God of War, but at least in that game, they're not too fucking long. In this game, it felt like all you were doing was watching fucking cutscenes. So, you know, the fact that you have to watch a cutscene every fucking 5 seconds, you know, do 20 seconds of shooting, cutscene, 5 seconds of shooting, cutscene, 20 seconds of shooting again, another fucking cutscene. I ended up dropping it. Fuck that game. What a waste of time, dude. I don't want to fucking spend half my time watching cutscenes that I can't fucking skip. There's also cutscenes that get replayed if you, like, die at a certain part of the game. Oh, man, you see, you know, you're real funny, aren't you, Rockstar, for doing that? Is that supposed to be some sort of joke? Eh? Oh, yeah, let's troll the players, you know? They end up dying, and every time they die, they have to rewatch this fucking cutscene. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Number 17 is Killzone. So I played the most recent Killzone recently, which is Shadowfall, I think it's called. At least I think that's the most recent Killzone, right? The one that came out in 2013, and all I can say is it's just fucking generic, dude. It feels like you're playing Call of Duty with a futuristic skin. It's just boring, you know, not really anything to add other than that. It's just a generic-ass first-person shooter. While I was playing it, honestly, the most entertaining thing about it was the fact that there was some troll in my stream chat saying some dumb shit. So, yeah, the fact that a fucking stupid-ass troll is more entertaining than the actual game says it all. Number 18 is Tony Hawk Games, another series that I fucking adored as a child. All the Pro Skater games, the Underground games, even American Wasteland was good. But after that, the series went downhill. You had shit like Proving Ground, that fucking downhill jam game, whatever the fuck it's called, and then you had the nail in the coffin, which was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. All you have to do is watch that game to know how fucking bad it is. I never played it, I never will fucking play it because it's not worthy of even 1 cent. It was a buggy ass, contentless piece of fucking shit. It was just terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. Real shame, man, real fucking shame. Tony Hawk was a fucking great franchise. Like I said, one of my favorites as a kid. And to see it, you know, fall to such a low point, such as fucking Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, was honestly sad to see. Number 19 is Doom. So, the new Doom games are not bad games. I want to come out and make that clear. They aren't bad games. They're not amazing games, but for today's standards, they're actually decent games. It's just that compared to the classics, you know, Doom 1, Doom 2, such amazing games, classic FPSs, they're just, you know, very average, you know, very, very average. I don't like the new graphical style. Maybe this is just nostalgia talking, but I love the build engine graphics in the old games. I love the impact of the weapons. I love the gore and shit, the pixel graphics. I like the level design. I just like everything about those classic games. And in the new games, it's very different, you know. It's much more about weapon switching and, you know, shit like that, and parkour, and, you know, it's just not really my thing, you know. But I don't want to come out here and shit on it because they're definitely solid fucking games. It's not really my thing, honestly. I'm much more of a Doom 1 and Doom 2 player. So, yeah, I really wish that they would make a new classic build engine Doom game, but the chances of that happening are fucking, you know, very slim. Number 20 is Def Jam. First 2 Def Jam games, Vendetta and Fight for New York, are classic fucking PS2 games. Great wrestling games right there. But Def Jam Icon, that came out on Xbox 360, you know, the next gen experience, the new era of Def Jam, well, let's just say that there's a reason why there hasn't been a fucking new Def Jam game since, because Def Jam Icon was fucking shit. It was a shit game, dude. Even as a kid, I was like, what the fuck happened? Def Jam 5 New York was so good. Great fucking campaign. Lot of different fucking rappers and shit, you know, characters. Awesome soundtrack. And then we get fucking this? I can't remember much about it, dude, but all I remember is that it was fucking garbage. Garbage. Number 21 is Far Cry. I loved Far Cry Instincts on the original Xbox. I loved the Predator mechanics where you like turn into a beast or some shit. I think it was like beast abilities or something. It's been a while since I played it, but yeah, that was a great game. Far Cry 2, great game. Far Cry 3, great game. Far Cry 4, great game. They were all kind of the same, but you'd think with like Far Cry 5, 6 that the games would get better, right? More variety. Well, no, it's just a repeat of Call of Duty. It's the same shit every fucking time, but worse. Why would I want to play Far Cry 5 and 6 when I can play, you know, the same game but better? Also, I can play Far Cry 4, 3, whatever, with, you know, superior games that also don't have forced political bullshit. Anyone that's played Far Cry 6 will know about the woke shit in that game. Whenever woke gets, you know, introduced into a game that I like, you know, a series, whatever, I automatically fucking hate it. I can't stand this fucking garbage, dude. Take your fucking political shit the fuck somewhere else. Get it the fuck out of our games. They always have to ruin games nowadays with this shit, dude. We don't give a shit about it. Keep it the fuck out of here, dude. And, you know, also, you know, add that to the fact that the game itself is just really fucking dull. I've watched reviews on it. I haven't played it, of course, because, you know, I actually appreciate my money, and I don't like to waste money. I'd rather take that $60 and go wipe a skunk's arse with it. But yeah, I've watched reviews on it, and it's just, you know, a worse version of previous games. So, yeah, just fuck it. Fucking, who gives a shit about Far Cry anymore? I haven't cared about it since Far Cry 4 because, like I said, it's always the same shit. How many times can you make Far Cry 3, but with, I don't know, better graphics, but worse gameplay? Yeah. What the hell do you expect when people are fucking saying this shit is fucking terrible? Especially me, dude. Fuck this game. Number 22 is Payne and Lynch. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't know about this game, but these are alright games. Well, one of them was. The first one was good game for the 360, and then the second one, Payne and Lynch 2 Dog Days, was trash. It was fucking short as fuck. The game was literally like 4 hours long. It was generic, no content, terrible multiplayer from memory. That's what I've heard at least. I did play the multiplayer, but yeah, it was just a fucking bland, shitty, short game. Fucking, you know, terrible ending. The ending was just sudden. You get on this plane, and then the fucking credits roll. What kind of an ending's that? Fucking 4 hours of generic third-person cover shooting with a shitty ending. Oh yeah, thanks a lot. Number 23 is Medal of Honor. So Medal of Honor was basically just a first-person World War II game back on the PS2. It was very similar to like Call of Duty 2. Not really too much to it. Wasn't the most in-depth game, but you know, it was a fun fucking game. Just a solid little FPS game, World War II set, you know. I like a good World War II game. It's hard to find a good one, but, you know, when they came out on the, when they transferred over to the Xbox 360, they brought out Medal of Honor something, and then Medal of Honor Warfighter. Well, there hasn't been a game since in this series, so yeah. Basically, it was just generic. Generic as fuck first-person shooter, dude. It was basically just Call of Duty, but worse. Really linear levels, generic fucking weapons, no mechanics or anything. It was just bland. Number 24 is Gears of War. Gears of War used to be fucking sick. The first 3 games, the first 2 especially, was some of the best games on Xbox. I love Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 1. Gears of War 3 is alright, but Gears of War 4, the most recent Gears of War game that I played, is fucking trash. More like Robots of War. You're fighting robots in that game for half the fucking duration of it. Robots in Gears of War? What the fuck were they smoking, dude? The whole point of Gears of War is that you're fighting the Locust. That's what the coolest thing is about it. Not fucking robots. Fire whoever made that fucking decision. Fucking morons, dude. And number 25, you guessed it, Resident Evil. Without repeating myself for the 50th time, 20 years of shitty Resident Evil games. That's all I'm gonna say. So there you have it, gents. 25 franchises that went down the shitter. I hope you all enjoyed. Is there any series that I missed? Obviously, make sure to leave them in the comments. Always appreciate the feedback. There's probably a lot of franchises that I missed, you know, but either I forgot about them, or I haven't played them, or maybe I just didn't want to include them because I felt like they weren't, you know, necessary. But obviously, this video was long enough as it is, so 25 is good if you ask me, but hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all have a good one. and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, in a bit, people. Sayonara.